Afro Fish OG. Good afternoon, everybody. If you are from Central Time and over, this is Afro in the Know, episode 4 of season 2, it's like episode 34, I think. I gotta get back to like just naming off the episodes instead of doing season 1, season 2. I thought it was a good idea. I regret it. So, but that's just how things work over here. It's the show where anything and everything can happen legally. But today. I got all the way over content creator extraordinaire and a motherfucker whose voice is absolutely phenomenal. I got Big Manny from Beyond the Blur. How's it going?
What's happening, Afro Fish OG? What's happening to the crew? What's happening? I'm happy to be here. We about to make some things happen today.
Absolutely. I'm happy that you're here. Like, this was I was surprised. Like, I always get surprised when people like are able, especially in such a short amount of time, where it's just like, yeah, I got the time off. Sweet, let's do this. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for you to be here. It's overall. Oh, I gotta turn that down. It's always a good time here on the cast. But right off the bat, I like to get introductions out of the way. So the floor is yours for all the people who are coming in and will be coming in. Let them know what you all about.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I go by the name of Big Manny. Beyond the Blur is my brand. I bridged it from Black NASDAQ, which was a business company. I had like 96,000 people follow me on Instagram. And I just got drained one day because I'm like, there are so many different scams and everything out there in the world that I just kind of wanted to just do me. Like I'm big into gaming and anime. So I converted that page into like a gaming and anime page, which I had to switch the branding up. So Beyond the Blur came up. And I just been working through that. It's been such a relaxing move for me because now I just get to be who I am instead of like business casual and everything. So we got that. Yeah, we got that brand going and everything, and we just here to take it to the Super Bowl, whatever that may mean.
I like that a lot. I like that. No, and so it's interesting that you started off with the Beyond the Blur then? And then you just kind of went from there? Or were you always doing just podcasts and then you turned it into streaming?
So it was Black NASDAQ podcast. And then when I realized that the landscape was changing, like, let's be honest, there was a lot of scams out there, a lot of financial gurus, air quotations for a reason. I just got to the point where I'm like, there's no reason to be in this sector if everybody's going to be a genius and not be honest with each other. So I was like, let me go to something that I could be genuine. I could be genuine with myself and others. I could talk about anime, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, 90s cartoons, gaming forever. So I was like, I have to find a way to pivot. So Beyond the Blur is literally, the name is, we're living beyond the blur. The algorithm is the blur. We want to live beyond the blur. So whatever I decided to do in that moment, I'm not trying to be put in a box, because the algorithm thinks I'm a good 2K player or a Halo player.
That, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. Like, because it is like for a lot of us, I think, especially for starting out creators, they get really warped into the box of not like knowing what to do. So it's like, I'm gonna do anime, or I'm gonna just do gaming, just anime, whatever it is, and then they don't really know what the fuck to do after that.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just good just to say, fuck it, we doing it all. Like, I'm not within any kind of guidelines, like allowing people to be me. And that's something that more content creators need to learn.
Facts.
Just be you.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to just be you. And so, I love that though. I love that myself. And so my question goes really simple then, okay? So, I mean, since you got started, since all that, how has your journey been?
It's been slow and steady. Slow and steady. Like there's not a day where I have the same amount of followers, but in my mind, followers don't matter. It's a constant stream of ideas of trying to figure it out. It's like I'm battling myself in many ways because the algorithm is going to control who the popular person is. So if you kind of lean into the algorithm, I got to play to the algorithm, you kind of fall for a trap. So I've put myself in the mindset of I'm going to do this regardless. Whatever the algorithm decided to do, it's going to do. But I'm going to take my content and I'm going to flip it to a product that I want out there. So it's been slow and steady since I changed my mindset, and I'm happy with the results. We crossed over 1,000 people. It's not a lot. It's not 1 million people, but we're comfortably sitting at over 1,200 people. And I told myself if I keep consistent at that for this next year, that 1,200 turns into above 10,000 people. And now we're rocking and we're rolling. We got different things that we can do. We got a community. So I'm looking at almost 2 years ahead of time. And it's been slow and steady. I like the slow and steady pace.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, for a lot of creators starting off, especially if they have no experience, no clue what to do, they're hoping for that big viral break. A lot of them hope for that big viral break, and that typically does not happen. Like I know myself, I got it off of TikTok at least, where I was like some video about Naruto. It was like one of those AI dubs from Naruto.
Yeah.
Some of that shit gets pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
And I went to over 1,000, like over 3,000, I think it was, just from it. But like TikTok wise, I'm at 6,000 right now. And I'm like, I tell people like it's just a grind. It doesn't matter. Like those followers, I want to say followers don't mean nothing because that's not true. But it
looks good.
It does look good. Yeah, it looks good. Like if I'm sitting there, but I've seen people who you ever like, I don't know, maybe I'm a nosy person. Okay, like I'm a nosy person. I like to go in and see what other people. So like I'll look, like I use TikTok for a prime example. I'll see someone who has like a bunch of followers, and I'll go look at their views. And if they're
400 views.
Yeah, 300 views. I don't get a whole lot of views on mine, but I get a good amount of engagement. Like that's what you're looking for.
Right.
You're looking at a lot of people. I'm like, no, I'm looking for the likes. I'm looking for the engagement that people give, whether it's positive or negative. Sometimes I get the dumbest fucking things on the planet. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't. I'm like, I get some really ignorant, stupid motherfuckers on this fucking app.
Facts.
And I was like, whether it's Twitch, YouTube. I had one person I had a video about something. And this guy was like, well, maybe if companies would actually have an original idea instead of constantly making remakes. And I was like, cool. So I took his fucking comment and just made a video on it, just clowning him the entire time. And so I'm just saying, like,
yeah, facts. Yeah, you're right.
Stupid shit. I'm gonna fucking post it up for everyone to see.
Right.
But I don't believe all creators are like that. I don't believe all creators are like that. Just like a 20%. Like 22%.
And it fluctuates a little.
It does, depending on what it is. You know what I mean? And so from my question to you, like, you know, you said you have an up and coming, you've been slowly recruiting that line. And, you know, I was like, does it feel good? Like when you hit that 100 mark, you hit that 1,000 mark, you know?
Sure.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
So I would say this. Think about it like this. Think of doing something that you genuinely love to do and one person take interest. It doesn't seem like that much, but somebody took interest. All you have to do is consistently do the same thing over, and that one turns into 5 turns into 10 turns into 1,000, and it just snowballs. Over time, what you will find is not everybody's going to be into your content. You don't want those type of people anyway. So you're going to have to let time plus your consistency recruit the people that you want in your community. And those people will support you. If it's $1, they'll purchase it. They don't even want the product. They just want to support you. And those are the type of people that I want in my cozy crew. I name my crew the Cozy Crew because we just some laid back gamers and anime watchers that don't care about what the world got going on, don't care about the politics, don't care about anything else, but we cool, we zen over here, we relaxed, and we're going to do what we want to do regardless of what the world and how the world turns. So when you get, I created a Discord last month, and I already got like 27 people in there. So my mind is not, man, I only got 27 people. My mind is like, yo, I got 27 people actively in this Discord who care about what I care about. Right. Those 25, 27 people got people as well. And it grows. So to have a Discord to grow, now you got power. Now you can, hey, go check out my YouTube video. Now you got different things you can do. So I like the fact that I'm starting small and growing that army from that small base, than thinking I'm just going to go viral. You don't want that, because if you're going viral for the thing that you did, and you got to continue to do whatever that thing you did. Now you're put in a box.
Right.
So that consistency is basically you over a long period of time showing and proving to people you deserve to be there for what you did over a period of time, not what you did in that moment.
No, very, very true. Like I really kicked it this in the high gear, I would say. Well, yeah, I kicked it in the high gear probably about 2 years ago. I would start doing lives. I started doing these like friendly, like, hey, like, what's your favorite video game, or right. What like nostalgia time, everyone. I want to know about a game that really made you have to sit and think, made you delve into your feelings about something. What was it and why?
Right.
And it's nice because you get people to come in, and even if it's for a few seconds, to go and be like, damn, I never even thought about this. Like, and it's those kind of engagements that you get. I had a lady say that she came into my live earlier, just like an hour ago, and was like, oh yeah, like whenever I haven't had a chance to be up here, but whenever I see you, I make sure to share right away, because I know, like, I really love your life, and like that makes you feel good.
That's the battery you need.
Like, oh my God.
And it's a thousand people like that can build a platform easily. 1,000 people like that. It's just, you got to find them, and they got to find you. You got to find each other.
Oh yeah. And with this, here I had people all over. Like, you ever played Marvel Rivals?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I had the voice actor for Jeff the Shark stops in every once in a while.
Oh, that's like a huge one. Yeah.
Every once in a while, just kind of jumps in, just like says what's going on, if I'm up and stuff like that. Oh, hey, shit, how's it going? You know what I mean? It's just a simple, like, that's all it is.
Right.
Developers. The one we just had was I call it lines that I'm dropping in 2026. Lines I'm dropping. Lines we dropping.
Right.
Because I thought of the Maharaga whole thing, like, oh, you think I'm losing? Nah, bitch, we losing. And so that's why I was like, lines we're dropping. And one of them, the thing that were over there was devs are lazy. I'm like, y'all need to stop that shit. Like, you don't know what goes on in the gaming community. Why the fuck you calling them lazy? I was like, 2, there's no good games anymore. Bullshit. You start coming up saying there's no good games anymore, I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you.
You gotta do your research.
Like, it ain't hard to go find. I was like, there's like, what, 200-300 games that drop a year. You telling me that none of them are good?
What the problem is, a lot of people don't understand that we are moving away from big corporations, and big corporations are very used to putting things in your face. No, you got to go to the crates. Like the old school music lovers used to go to the record store and to go through music. You have to research the thing that you like. Are you into fantasy? Are you into RPG? Are you into simulation? Are you into those different games? That's how I ran into Stardew Valley. I think you commented a couple of times. Yeah. You commented, you was like, this game must be fire. That first time ever playing this game, I literally was making videos, posting it on TikTok, and people just kept coming saying, play Stardew Valley, play Stardew Valley. So I did research. This is what I would tell people to do. There are good games out there. You could go back from 2007. My favorite game is Mass Effect. Mass Effect came out in 2007, right? So from 2007, the graphics are good enough that you can enjoy all the way to 2025. And it has nothing to do with the graphics, but I'm saying you got all these games that came out. Just go find the game that you like based off of who you are as a person. The problem is this is going to be a shot at some people. You don't know who you are as a person, so you don't know what you're interested in. Somebody has to tell you what you're interested in. I need you to play Call of Duty. I need you to play 2K. I need you to play Madden. I need you to play Grand Theft Auto. I need you to play Red Dead Redemption. We've heard that year in and year round. These are the same big companies that push a game out. And when you feel like they became repetitive, what other game do you have in your back pocket that you could play?
Exactly. Very much so. And it's one thing I want to add on to that too, because the one thing I've noticed, the third thing I'll say, and it jumps into what we're talking about now. So the third thing is that gaming is dead quota, right? Gaming is dead. Bull fucking shit. Stop talking about that. You guys, you can't tell me that gaming is dead when there are games coming out, great games every fucking time. And it's always an annoying thing. But what I want to add to is the fact that I want people to know this is not just ball and gun gamers saying this shit. Mm-hmm. This is a across the board. This is what happens, and the people who tend to say this are the ones who typically don't stretch beyond their means. They might be an RPG, JRPG gamer that never is like, I would never play a sports game.
And that's the problem.
And then, okay, if you don't want to play a sports game, that's fine. But like, my question is like, then what do you like to play besides that? Because I the genres I hate when people ask me, like, I honestly hate this. I hate when people ask me two things. What's my favorite genre and what's my favorite game? I hate it. I hate when you ask me that because I'll tell you straight up. My favorites change all the time. I don't have just a one favorite that just sits above all the rest.
It's like drinking wine.
Yeah, I have one that I'm not a drinker myself, but yeah, there's some out there. But like, that's what gets me is like, I don't have a favorite video game, so I don't know. And the games. Let's say like I use Ocarina of Time, right? Ocarina of Time, great game for its time. Little bare now, but I mean, in terms of the gameplay wise, story's still good, whatever. But then there's games like Twilight Princess that I like even more.
Yeah,
they did more stuff in Twilight Princess, like they the between graphically, all that other kind of stuff, and I like that more. I'm not saying the other one's bad. Just like this is just it moved on. Some of my favorite games that I have, like games I even prefer, are games going to be like I like games like Mirror's Edge. I like games where I have to like kind of stretch my try something new.
Mirror's Edge. Yeah.
This last year, 2025 was the year of.
Tell me you're an OG without telling me you're an OG.
Just saying, like Mirror's Edge was a fantastic game, but it was one that like a lot of people surprisingly did not play. And I was like, you didn't play it during that time period? I was like, nigga, there was a demo. Y'all don't think you understand how long I played this demo. Like I played the first mission. They gave you the training mission, and then they gave you the first mission. Now I play nonstop. There's no way I can be like a top like speedrunner player on that because there's definitely a lot of issues with it. I've beaten that game twice without firing a weapon. Like I got that achievement twice. I will never do it. One of the most difficult achievements I've ever fucking got. But it was fun. I enjoy that kind of shit. But then at the same time, I enjoy games like What Remains of Edith Finch. Absolutely fantastic game. I don't know if you've ever played it.
Not that one.
But it's so good. It's only like maybe like 3-4 hours long. But
then I'm definitely
story heavy.
I'm definitely gonna put that in my must do.
I was playing this year Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Absalom. Like both of them. One's a roguelike beat 'em up. The other one's just like a tribute to the old Marvel like 1980s in an arcade shit. My gaming taste is so vast that I can't just say I have a favorite.
Well, I would definitely say for a person like you, I got a question for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself in terms of gaming experience?
10.
So that in itself, you hit the nail on the head. That in itself is like telling a person to go to every single country and try foods and then say, what's your favorite food? You can't do it. Like I love ramen. Ramen was not my favorite food until my wife.
What kind of ramen? Are we talking the little packages? Are we talking
like
actual? Okay, thank God.
I'm talking about.
I was like,
ramen.
Like, do yourself a favor.
I didn't have ramen until I met my wife, and she introduced me to ramen. I get it. I've been watching anime my whole life, They eat ramen. They was eating all of this stuff. So when
Dude, that was Naruto's favorite food was ramen. Like it looked fucking good. You know what's funny? The only thing that could rival I don't know why it's like they took all the creativity for that and shoved it right into the ramen bowl. But like it's like the only creativity that looked just as good was the fucking Krabby Patty.
Yeah. Yeah,
like whenever they showed that Krabby Patty, I'm sitting there like, damn, that would not be sold at Arby's.
You gotta get out your comfort zone. Like that's with food, that's with gaming, and that's what that again. I hate to keep harping on it, but that's what Stardew Valley was. Because I'm like, I didn't even know cozy gaming was a thing. Like, what the heck is cozy gaming? What is a cozy gamer? And now I'm 35 now. I work, and sometimes you just don't have time to lock in. Sometimes you just like, I want to play a game without any pressure. And I'm like, I see now. So I think people who say like there's no game, they don't want to put the effort in.
I agree with you 110%. It's very much they don't want to put the effort in because at some point, I think at some point it would make them realize that their taste in games is not as extensive as they thought it was.
They expose themselves.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times they do.
They expose themselves hands down. Like it's too many games to pick from. Like I have fun with the research of it all. Like I have fun with just exploring. I've spent so much time on Steam just looking and reading reviews. I'm reading this game. I'm playing this game I started right before this show called Palia. It has absolutely all the great reviews. It basically takes Fortnite and pushes it with Stardew Valley, and boom, here you go. World building, hunting, all of these story lore. And I'm just like, huh. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah, that sounds
in this
cool.
Beta phase. It's been out since 23.
Palia sounds familiar. I think I do remember it being like announced a long time ago.
Yeah, so now it's supposed to be like this huge game coming out. But like I was saying earlier, if I would have just stayed at Mass Effect and games like Mass Effect, because I like Final Fantasy, except for the last one. I got a little.
You don't like 16?
The only reason I have beef with 16 is because your protagonist looks too much like the protagonist from 15. It's like how do you get Lord Noctis and then this guy looking almost strikingly?
Oh, you got Noctis and Swole Noctis. Like
why? You know, we have an emotional attachment to Noctis for reasons. Why would you do this to us? Because now we're sitting there playing the game like, where's the lore? I know there's lore. They got to be twins or brothers or lost. That's his uncle or something. Like the whole time in my head, I'm looking for lore to try to figure out why they look so alike.
Yeah, I think it was just a design choice. Like I'm not gonna lie. So I've only played 2 Final Fantasy games in my entire life.
Okay.
13 and 16.
Ooh.
And so I like 13. 13's fun. I never got a chance to finish it, but I will definitely get a chance to one of these days. Since y'all are talking about Stardew Valley, have y'all seen or played Traveler's Rest?
I have not.
I have not. I've never even heard of it myself. But getting back to it, I thought 13 was cool. And then like when I saw the trailer for 16, because I was like 15, I'll probably get to at some point. But I saw the trailer for 16 and I was like, you're telling me I got to be kaijus? I don't give a fuck at that point. I was like, okay, sold. I was like, I'm not like I'm a gamer that's like very much like, oh, that looks cool, and that's it. I go for it. And so like when I was watching like the Ifrit, and he's they're showing clippings of him battling off, and I'm just like, oh, this is dope. And then I saw then I played playing through the game. I still got to finish it. I'm terrible at finishing games, but like I'm terrible at finishing games. But like when I got to like the fight, it's the fight against Titan. Mm-hmm. And like I was like, dude, this is legitimately like this is like porn for my eyeballs. Like this is the greatest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm just Ifrit running on the tentacle things that like the Titan has, and then going to I thought I was big, and then I realized that's how big his motherfucker is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, like the fight between him and what was it? Was it Baphomet? I think it was.
Yep.
Like
It got some. It got some.
I'm like, this is the most anime shit ever.
Yeah, it got some definitely God of War elements to it because it plays with perception a little bit with size. Like you like, oh, he big. Wait a minute. If he big, he must be universally big.
Oh,
and it just throws you off.
Just massive. It was like, bro, this is crazy. And I loved every fucking second of it. I just gotta finish it. Because like I'm a type of person that like all of a sudden I see something else new and my ADHD kicks in.
Me or you didn't finish it. And we're talking about 16, right?
Yeah, we're talking about 16.
I do, but that's what I'm saying. 15, it was a change in pace from what Final Fantasy was known for. And the story, chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. Like not to derail the timeline of where we're going. Fallout did something similar where not that the last one was garbage that they came out with, but then the one before that was probably arguably one of their best. And it's like
76
Fallout, the online version of Fallout. Was that 76? Like it's like how did y'all get this wrong? But then Fallout right before that, it's like, oh, y'all did everything right. So it's when you see things like that, it makes you have ADHD because you get stuck on a game that you really like and you lock in. It's like
that's true. Like,
so
it happens way too much. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I'll sit there. Like I don't really have Steam because I use my computer for other stuff. But like I have like I have my Xbox over here and then my PlayStation, and so I end up just finding cheap games. I'm always looking for cheap deals. And I tell people, look for the cheap deal. If you think it looks cool, the worst you're gonna do is go spend $5. Okay, that $5 that you were gonna go spend on like a pack of gum, you could go buy a game and got a lot more hours out of it. I've been playing Call of Sentinels, which is, to put it lightly, not trying to be mean, but it's like we have Hades at home.
Oh,
but it's still good.
Yeah,
like it's still a fun time. So like I tell people, like go and try Call of Sentinels. I'm playing another one. It's a Metroidvania one called Trinity Fusion. That's another one that's been fun. It's been a good time. Like I like Metroidvania and stuff too. But like these games I find for like maybe $11, maybe $5. That's what it's like a meal at McDonald's. Like I don't need the meal at McDonald's. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't need to get fatter. So like I was like, no, I can go spend $15, $20 on like what 3 or 2 games, maybe 3 games. Like, go try them. The worst you can say
depending on where you go, you can help the local economy. If that's any added, if you could go to, because I got a physical place that I can go to that have like those $5, $6 games.
I wish I did. I wish I did. Like I don't, unfortunately. But between the PlayStation stores, if you can afford Game Pass, go do it. Or PlayStation, whatever. I tell people if you can afford it, do it. If you can't, I understand. Oh,
I got you. I got you.
But yeah, it's just if you can afford to do it, if you can't, I get it. I get it. But like I want to encourage everyone to like try new stuff.
Yeah.
You cannot talk about indie developers and how indie developers are taking over and they need to rise, not buy their shit.
Silk Sonic had people in an uproar. Like I didn't go too much into it, but I think the biggest beef with Silk Song was they didn't let the big boys know when they were going to drop, and it was like, why? This is, we want competitive developers, so why do anybody got to let you know? And nobody knew. I ain't gonna say nobody. Nobody knew Silk Song was going to do what it did, but that's what the beauty of the moment is, and you could create that beauty of the moment if you're a true gamer. You could say, I'm gonna take a chance at trying something new. I got $5 or $6. Let me go try this game out. And it's easier more than ever, especially when we was growing up. Like we had a family, what was a family video? It would be like a Friday, and my father would go in and rent a movie, and he was like, you could get 1 game. We didn't have the internet like that, so you had to pick something. Like it's like, obviously you had the popular games, but A lot of times you will turn the game around, read it, and just grab it. And a lot of times that game came out to be like fun because you gave it a chance.
Yep.
Where today, I think a lot of people just don't, like I keep saying, don't want to put in the effort. But that, for me, I got a solution for that. I got a solution for the effort part. Let me know when you're ready to tell you about this app.
Okay. No, let's do this. Let's go.
All right. So it's funny how we was talking about how some people always saying that there's no games to play. And there's a few things that I have an app coming out called the Blur app. So again, Blur meaning algorithm. The algorithm equals blur. You want to live beyond the blur. So there's a Blur app that basically, the moment you get into this app, it asks you 30 questions. These questions are going to be based off of games you played, decisions that you would make in games or anime. And it takes these 30 questions and use AI to basically give you an archetype. There are 10 to 15 archetypes. One of the archetypes is an intellectual. I consider myself an intellectual game player and an anime watcher. So the game that would be prescribed to me would be Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy, except for Andromeda, because I got beef with them for that. It should have named it something completely different.
I think with Andromeda, and I know Japan Amir, who I'll have on tomorrow, let's go check out because he's a huge Andromeda defender. But I think with Andromeda, the one thing that he brought up that was a really good point, and was like, and I feel like the same way too, is if you have to take it in the form of a side story. Like, and if you take it in the form of a side story, I think you can kind of, for a while, you can kind of sit on and be like, it's not the trilogy. And I think that's kind of the problem, was like they should have marketed it as more of a side story. Like, this is something that went on either A, really far in the future after the events of the Reapers, or B, this is a separate thing that is happening around the time of the Reapers. And I think people have been more likely to get
that was the tweak. That was, you had me sold on Shepard, and then so that's me. That's one of those things that we was just talking about. That's on me. But as an intellectual game player, I love Mass Effect. I love Fallout. And if you was to go to anime, obviously love Dragon Ball Z. But one of the animes that I give a lot of credit to, that I secretly put at my 1A, is Attack on Titan. And
Attack on Titan trash.
But here's the thing.
I'm kidding.
Here's the thing. I realized that depending on who you like or who you are as a person, like for me, I get in arguments all the time about My Hero Academia and the other anime that our boy from Yu Yu Hakusho created. It's missing me right now. What is it?
Hunter x Hunter?
There you go. So those two, for me, I say it's not quite for me because I feel like I'm more of an advanced anime watcher. I don't need you to explain absolutely everything you're doing. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like Hunter x Hunter did that a lot. If you fight, I'm fast enough to catch up. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with My Hero Academia. It's like you can make it complex without dumbing it down. So that's where the divide. So depending on who you are, you answer these questions. It gives you this archetype and it say, I think you should be playing this game. Try this game out, or try this anime out. Based off of the answers that you gave me, here are a list of game animes, even mangas you should be reading, watching, indulging in. So it also gives you groups of people who are like you. So you could go in and have conversation with these groups of people who are like-minded. So you might have more of an intellectual group of people who are having a conversation about lore in Dragon Ball Z. For me, I don't think Dragon Ball Z has as much lore as a lot of the other animes that's out there. It's kind of just like what's in your face. But it depending on the group that you're in and having a conversation with, you can get a lot out of that. And then you can get a lot out of that. Even something as simple as solo leveling, not a lot of lore, a lot of face value, but depending on who you're in the room with, that conversation can go on forever. You see what I'm saying? So this app is basically designed to help you find your people, Find the anime, gaming, manga, just the media you want to indulge in. And then last but not least, we're going into a world where there's a lot of cross-platforming going on. It used to be if you play Xbox, you can see all your Xbox friends when you get logged on. Same thing with PlayStation, Nintendo, and everything else. Well, if you got a friend that's now on PlayStation and you on PC, how would you know they're online? So this app now is going to say, this person is online. This is your squad. This is what they're playing on. You see what I'm saying? Without having to tap into the network. You see what I'm saying? Because I lost a lot of friends coming out of college. Not because we didn't want to be friends no more, but because we didn't communicate as much as we wanted to. And life just drifted away.
Life is life.
Yeah. So this helps bring that and blend that back together. I got a friend that plays Call of Duty, but he's on Xbox. I'm never going back to Xbox ever. It's PlayStation and PC. Those are my two platforms. Not because I don't like Xbox, but because these are my preferred methods. You see what I'm saying?
Understandable. Yeah.
So that app kind of helps blend that reality where it says, this is where your friends are at. This is what they're playing. And you can cross-platform a lot easier. So that's the Blur app in a nutshell. And I'll see a lot of people in March. Afro, Fish, OG. If you okay with being, I don't want to say a tester, but a person that go in and point to things and say, this don't work. This sucks. You should do this better.
I'm all for it, man.
Let me know. I love constructive criticism. So
yeah, absolutely. And like, I'm totally down to do that.
Okay.
So I think that's awesome. I appreciate you giving that invite.
Okay.
Really do. And so now that we've also in a way we've broken away from just the gaming part, we also into anime as well, because I know you're a big anime guy. I saw you talking about some things that I was actually kind of surprised about. I was like, bro, I haven't seen very many of them, but I do know of them. And I was surprised that you were talking about Big Bad Beetleborg.
Oh, what?
I was like, okay, cool. I've known so many people who don't remember that. And I was like, dude, Big Bad Beetleborg was dope as hell. I was like, I wish we would have got a crossover between them and like the fucking Power. I wanted them to just to fight Power.
Man,
closest we ever got was the Thunder Rangers from Ninja Storm.
Yeah,
but Big Bad Beetleborg was just cool as shit.
And I literally said, I think in the clip that you're referring to, the only thing that slowed Big Bad Beetleborg down is the fact that it literally was competing with his big brother outside of that main time zone. By the time Big Bad Beetleborg was on, you knew it was time to go outside or play video games. Like, literally, you had Fighting Foodons, Power Rangers, all of these other shows coming on. And then literally it would be that commercial break, and then the tone and just the pace of everything changed on the broadcast. That should have been a show for like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. Don't compete with your big brother. It would have been weird, but it would have been weird enough to the point where it would have gained an audience where it was at.
Right.
Because we just got done watching Power Rangers. For the people that was watching Power Rangers, now you got to go from watching Power Rangers to Power Rangers' little sister. For a lot of us, it was dope, but you stunned its growth from a business aspect.
Yeah, and I would say, actually interesting enough that you mentioned that, because they're in those Saturday morning cartoon era, right? Mm-hmm. And like one of the things that I noticed is another that is, unfortunately, that happened after Pokemon. There was a lot of shows. Digimon was a big one after that. It was I call it a Pokemon victim. Mm-hmm. I think Digimon is great. But it just couldn't, at the time, it just could not compete side by side with Pokemon. And you're having them roughly around the same time. People, unfortunately, chose. I mean, I'm going to say, Digimon had a way bigger fucking banger of an intro. Like, that intro is better. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Pokemon, and it had one of the, in my opinion, I hate to cut you off, one of the most anticipated moments. Because everybody evolved at that point. We was waiting for one more Digimon to evolve. And when he evolved into like the angel type Pokemon, not Pokemon, Digimon.
Angemon?
That shut everything down. But then after that, they couldn't grow from it.
Well, I mean, the thing was so funny was, what are you going to do when you have like a walking nuke? like Patamon, Digimon 2, Game Ender. Like
so that was a moment, and they hit us with the old tried and true. You think I'm big and bad? You have no idea what you're getting yourself into, and the story just started breaking down. I feel a little bit about Pokemon, but that's just OG envy.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of my thing too. Is because I love Pokemon. I always say I love Pokemon. It's overall I really like the franchise. It is what it is.
Right.
But yeah, I always feel like, and I'm just playing now. I'm playing Cyber Sleuth.
Mm.
I never played Digimon Cyber Sleuth before until literally like a few days ago, and I've been like, dude, this is fucking awesome. And it's turn-based. I love turn-based, but it's also like because I don't know a whole lot of Digimon after season 3. I think that's where they had the cards. So I thought it was really cool where they could become the Digimon. After that, I don't know much about it, so I'm like learning new Digimon. I keep saying Pokemon, Digimon as I go along, stuff like that. I think that's awesome. Like that Saturday morning cartoon era. And I don't like to be like the overly nostalgic version, but that really did shape a lot of my childhood. Like, I've never been excited for, like, now I'm just excited to have off work.
Man, round of applause for that.
Like, that's all I had. But on Saturday morning, when that came through, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. Like, I'm excited, and there's so many like hype moments, there was good shows from all over. Like I look at like shows like Sonic X was one. That's feel my love for Sonic, and like the reason why I was like, this is just a cool show. I went back to rewatch the fight. It was on YouTube. Like I went back to rewatch the whole fucking show, and I was like, dude, I actually don't even hate this. Yes, is it corny? Absolutely, but there's definitely like a love to it that I have, and not just a nostalgia. There's some good shit in there. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like the first time I saw Shadow the Hedgehog, I was like, who the fuck is this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Yu-Gi-Oh was a big one for me. I remember that one, the duel between Yugi versus Pegasus every fucking week. I was there, and I'm sure you probably were too. I was there every week that Goku fought Frieza, every fucking weekend.
Every weekend.
Like you didn't like nobody understands how ridiculous that was and then afterwards you find out it was like a 4-hour fight, and you're just sitting there like, holy shit.
Find out next time.
And you're just like, man, is this fight over? Nah. And then I was like, bro, I'm starting to get bored of this fight. And then guess what? Goku's like, all right, I'm gonna go blonde.
Shut everything down. Shut everything down. But yeah, those are moments we can't get back. And I try to tell people that even though we can't get them back, at least we got some skin in the game where when newcomers come across like anime and everything, we can be the guide to help them into the industry instead of like step on their neck a little bit, because gaming and anime are going to be the future. Technology is only getting better. So gaming and anime is going to get that much better. Here's another question for you though. I like to throw in a wrench into the plan. AI when it comes to anime, are you for it or against it? It could be a controversy. Like AI has been.
I think the reason why I would say because AI is different than also like when they do like the 3D art and stuff like that every once in a while. I'm against it. And I think the reason why I'm against it is because for so many years we've had so many amazing artists come in and have worked their asses off to make sure that these are the best studio, whether it's Studio Ghibli, you know what I mean? Whether it is, from Berserk, Naruto, Bleach, all these ones have given some amazing ones. Demon Slayer's I've been on a par. Like Demon Slayer showed up and everyone's like, fuck, now I got to try. And so like we've seen so many amazing sense of animation, whether it's a fight, whether it's a dance, blah, blah, blah. Why do I need AI to do that now? We have the talent.
That's the art.
That's part of the art. The part of the art is being like, bro, like I don't think I would like the fight between Tengen and Gitaro from Demon Slayer nearly as much if I was like, oh yeah, they just took that from AI.
The moment I saw Demon Slayer, it was, depending on what type of TV you got, it was beautiful. It's literally watching art in motion while watching a story. So Demon Slayer is like one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of animation, I'll definitely concede that. Actually one thing I personally feel this way. Maybe other people will probably disagree. This might be a controversial take. The rise of things like Demon Slayer, My Hero's done a really good job with it. JJK has been doing a really good job with it. And then going back and watching Dragon Ball, I need to see more when it comes to animation wise.
Oh,
Like I need to see more when it comes to animation. Like I'm sorry, like I don't mind like the quick punch thing anymore. But then I watched the fight that popped up on mine, fucking from Super Cube, and I'm watching this fight from Super Cube, and I'm like, bro, this is insane. Like I was like, I'm not the Dragon Ball animation of like the quick punch fights and stuff like that, ridiculously on repeat. All that stuff, I love it. It's nostalgic for me, but I want them to move forward from it. I want
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's a touchy subject, but you're not. I'm 100% with you. I've had that conversation with people. I've had debates when it comes to things like this, and I feel like Dragon Ball will always have a place in our heart. But certain things is just like if you going to be the standard, you got to figure it out. I will say this, and it will make sense in a second. When I found out that one episode of Dragon Ball Z back in the day took a month to create, it took 1 month. And how you basically take that and you go from there to here, it's like not too much growth has happened from an animation side. You can't allow a Demon Slayer to come in and revolutionize just graphically how things look. Even One Piece, I think, leaned in.
One Piece all of a sudden was like, all right, let me show you why I'm the fucking GOAT. And like they just dropped their animation like crazy.
And it's like, Dragon Ball, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you have the audience where you could turn up the heat immensely.
I know you got the money.
I know you got the money. You got the fan base. You see what's behind me right here is Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, it's a little blurry. So I'm a part of that era. I'm waiting for you to fight back, But it's just, I don't know. I'm gonna always be a fan of Dragon Ball Z, but you got to kind of move on a little bit. I'm with you. You got to figure it out.
And that's what as much when I talk anime, because I've been on a kick of trying to find anime that I typically don't watch. Since I do the same thing with video games, I felt like it's fair that I do the same thing with them. So like I started with watching a show called Kotaro Lives Alone. It's a slice of life. Me and my wife watched it, and it was really good. It was like about this kid who's like 4, 5 years old, and he lives in an apartment building by himself. Like he just is the new tenant, and they're like, "Wow!" They're like everything's paid for, but not really sure what's going on with them. And it's fun watching how like the neighbors all become his like family. And it's such a like a wholesome show, and I love it. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, this is cool. And I was like, okay, I'll try something else. And then I tried like Records of Ragnarok, and I was like, bro, this is the equivalent of just slamming action figures against each other. But I fucking love it. Like you're telling me like, hey, you want to watch Leonidas fight Apollo? Okay, like
yeah,
Free Run was amazing.
I have not started it, but people are in my ear about Free Run. I think I'm episode 1.
Yeah, go. You have to watch it. It's really good. It's a slower anime, but like when it decides, it's like, hey, all right, we're gonna hit a hype moment. We'll hit a hype moment, but a lot of their best moments are subtle, and I love that.
I keep hearing about that. So
yeah, you got to watch that one. I watched one called the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. It was on Netflix, like 13 episode show, romance, like a slice of life romance one. Watched it with my wife because my wife was one when we first started. She was like, I don't watch anime. I don't watch anime, and I was like, oh okay.
Same thing my wife said till Attack on Titan,
till Death Note.
Oh, but here's the crazy part, bro. I started with Death Note. I started with Death Note, and Death Note didn't work, and the second choice was Attack on Titan, and Attack on Titan got it. Really? So now I think the question was, what's the next one? And I got to figure out the next one. Demon Slayer, I can't go back and watch over again just because there was moments where I was yelling on my top of my couch, yelling because they found a way to like effortlessly put lore, story, and fight scenes together. They are the most balanced. I don't know. It's just I got an affinity for Demon Slayer. I don't know what they did or how they did it. I don't know. I don't even know how to rank them. It's just it's great. It's
a
great.
good time. I mean, and you know, I'll get to Demon Slayer 1 second, but like, and then the last one was the Apothecary Diaries.
Okay.
And that one's been good. It's funny because my wife is a pharmacist, so like, basically a pharmacist anime. So she was like, okay, sweet. But it's been a good time to find those ones. But I want to say, going back to Demon Slayer, and this is gonna be the first, because have you seen the movie and all that stuff too?
I have not touched it yet because I'm still in between, like telling my wife to catch up, and I don't want to finish it.
That's fair. Where do you leave off at?
So I am just before I'm forgetting names. I'm sorry, but it was all on Netflix. So I am at the last episode before the movie.
Okay, that's like when they all end up dropping into the fucking place. When you realize that ability should have fucking ended them immediately. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I got an ability where I can just like take this water bottle, go, and you're just gone.
So that's where I'm at. I'm hesitant to finish it, but I think I'm probably gonna finish it.
Nice. I'm not gonna lie. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up real here. One question for you. What's a demon blood art that you would actually like?
Demon blood art that I like? What is the gentleman's name? I instantly don't even want to go demon. I have my favorite character, but
is it Zenitsu?
Is it because it's your favorite?
No, I'm just asking you a question. Like, I'm just asking, is it Zenitsu?
Nah. So the guy that had the sister, I'm telling you, names are
Gitaro.
Yeah.
His like circular, his like blood slashing things.
Yeah. I just found I found him interesting, the story interesting, and the art form interesting. Like, I don't really, once you get to the point, I got this thing with Superman and super powerful like anime beings where it's like once you become like all like powerful, you take the fun away from it. Like, if you could just flick somebody and boom, going dead, then basically it's like, how is that going to be a duality to this story? Like, how is, if I could destroy absolutely everything in a blink of an eye, it's almost like that guy from My Hero Academia, the one of the main antagonists. It's like
Shigaraki.
Yeah, it's like once you get to the point where you just got all power, you take away the storyline of it, because now you got to find an excuse for why I beat that. You're not supposed to beat that.
It leads to it led to a Madara problem.
Okay.
Through watching Naruto. It definitely it can lead to, and I should say it can lead to a Madara problem where you're like, all right, so this guy's got like this ability that negates this ability that negates this ability. I'm like, okay, so like, how the fuck do I actually lose? And like, I think with My Hero, I will say I think they did a good job was done with it. For the fact of it's a lot of it is mental rather than like physical. Like, yeah, physically he should be able to actually fuck them all up, but he's such a mentally broken person that if a person can actually reach through and actually get to him even for a moment, like that can be the difference. But that's also why I love Sukuna so much from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
Because he's that kind of that opposite. He just like, I just don't fucking care. Like, yeah. I know I'm the strongest. If you want to really get through to me, you got to beat me.
And that's probably why I'm just such a nerd for, like, you could even go back to like Ghost in the Shell. Like when you talk about like story, Ghost in the Shell, Attack on Titan, and I keep harping on these main tropes of Attack on Titan made you think whether Eren was right or not. Don't know if you finished it. It had nothing to do with like power at the end of the day. if you're a 90s, late 80s baby, or even mid 90s kid, and you've watched anime from Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, entry level, all the way to more advanced anime, you've seen the same stories over and over again. So it's like, how could you redecorate the storyline and make it interesting? Because Goku fighting at this point is no longer interesting to me. What you're going to do? Just level up to me, level up again, and I'm stronger than you? What are we going to do past that?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you with the My Hero Academia thing, but now it's more for me. It's how could you end this story other than sheer strength and being a brute? Can you make me think outside of the box of what can you mind bending? So if there's some mind bending animes out there that I've probably never heard of, I would love to hear them, because I think they call you got shonen brain. I'm trying to get away from shonen brain where it's just all about fighting, power. Yeah.
And that's why I think that's why I like Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Bleach, because Bleach also deals with that kind of stuff too. Sure, there's going to be a fight, and I use the Ichigo versus Aizen. Ichigo versus Aizen's fight is very much a fight of Aizen, who is so much intelligence-wise, he's incredibly smart, smarter than pretty much everybody else. But even with that intelligence, the fact of someone surpassing him at any point, is this unfathomable thing. So he's actually making these deductions that just don't make any sense.
Right.
And so when he finally he doesn't even really get beaten. He gets sealed. Like, the only way it's going to work is going to get sealed. And later on, you find out part of the reason why he's doing what he's doing is literally because of the loneliness that he felt.
See,
like he's
that's my type. That's my type of, like, if I see it's just I'm stronger than you, it's like, been here before.
There's so much like him being like, I'm so strong that I just cannot relate to the fact of what everybody else is going through.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's like, okay, well then at that point, then it's up to me. Like, this system is fucking broke. And what I love about it is that by the time I guess spoilers, but the anime's been out since like 2001,
mm-hmm.
like the 1,000-Year Blood War, but like, or 2002 maybe, I don't know. But like, because of the way that the system worked, it took another person like Yuha, the final villain in in Bleach, and he absolutely destroyed it. And like, they showed up and they destroyed everything. And it was because I loved it, because of the fact of the faults of how their system worked.
Right.
And he even calls that of how their system worked. Like, we prepped for you. Like, we prepared for all of you at this point. And I love that motion. I love when, especially when an antagonist can kind of point out the flaws of a system. And then later on you find out, yes, that system is the reason there's a problem with it. And you mentioned with like Eren, I at the end of the day, I've said Eren is one of those interesting characters where he is the protag and antag of the series.
Death Note, same thing, where
he starts off as the protag and ends at an antag. And a lot of people hated Gabby, but I'm like, you guys realize that Gabby is Eren,
right?
Gabby's just another Eren, like an Eren that wasn't
the cycle the cycle starting all over.
And was able to learn and change. Like, Eren didn't have that opportunity. He shouldn't say he didn't have that opportunity, but every time he was about to get a chance to, something else jumped in.
He already knew the path that he was going to choose. It was already chosen, and it's almost like his timeline was already set for destruction by himself, and it was nothing that nobody else was going to do. Where Gabby at least got to see the destruction and take a step back and say, I see where this can go. I see the families that it can destroy. I see it destroy my family. I don't think that I want that, So even when it comes to like Attack on Titan, you mentioned Death Note, following the story of Death Note, it had nothing to do with fighting.
No, the fighting is in the wordplay. Like, the real fight is in the wordplay, the meticulous back and forth. And like, when it comes to Death Note, why I love Death Note so much is the fact that I love that Light is like you expect him to be a protagonist, and then as soon as he gets the book, you're like, nah, this guy is completely like
Psychopath.
he's a sociopath, I would say, to
Yeah.
the max. Absolutely full of himself, believes himself to be better. And then because every time one of my favorite moments is every time we see him start to lose just a little bit, that little bit where in episode 2 when L outsmarts him right off the bat and he's like pissed as all shit. And it doesn't take much because he already, and that's why I tell people, they're like, when did he turn an antagonist? Episode 1. When he was murking criminals.
When he realized,
I'm just God. I'm God.
When
now.
he realized what he could do, what he was doing, that's when he, it's crazy to take. I'm always taking these side notes, side steps, but it's funny kind of looking back at like hip hop and saying Kendrick is 100% L. Kendrick watched anime. And I don't know if you know the lore behind like Kendrick Lamar and all of that, but just seeing how somebody can be 2 steps ahead at all time in a movie or anything, it's just it makes me laugh because it's like you're almost you an asshole a little bit. You got the upper hand, but you like, I just want to see where this goes.
And that's what I loved about Light is how much he keeps on going. And like, does he get a couple lucky breaks here and there? Absolutely. And that's like one of my favorite moments of when when L asked Light, when he's like, it's at one point, have you ever actually told the truth? And I was just like, I love it. The scene is perfect. Like the music cuts, Light just stares. Like he knows, like L knows this is it. He knows it. I just can't prove it. And by the time, my favorite part of that whole anime is at the very end when Light is calling himself God and he's like, and Nier is just like, nah, you just a serial killer. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, that's what you really are, bro. Like I don't know what else to tell you. And so, I know in the manga and the anime are different. I always I remember I've watched the anime, so I use the anime version typically. But like I love that. I love that bit. I love that bit of just when reality hits him. Even the fact of losing his dad was not enough.
Right.
Like just kept on going. And I think that's awesome. You know what I mean?
In your opinion, do you think Light became a god? Because there was that thing out there in the ending.
Yeah, there was the people thought that he no, I don't think so.
Okay. You think that's somebody completely different?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is completely different. I think that hold on, the live action was better than both. Stop that. I said that with a straight face. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't.
Live action what?
Like live action Death Note.
Nah, that was one of the worst.
I don't want to hear that. Like I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on before I start crashing. Like, but
I'm gonna crash with you because I agree.
But yeah, I think that did Light become a god? No. And I think because it really sets in the fact at the end of the day, the shit that Light did was all on himself. Mm-hmm. Like he was just a serial killer at the end of it, and he died a death, and now he can never go to heaven or hell. And he's that's it. He's stuck now with L forever.
That's a take. That's an interesting take. Because I know that's an interesting argument that goes on to this day.
I just think it doesn't make a good ending. Like I really don't, because it's like the fact of the matter was when Ryuk's like, yeah, you can neither go to heaven or hell. Cool. Then why is he going to the Shinigami world? If that's true, because other Death Notes have dropped, does it mean that there's a bunch of other Shinigami that are now what used to be humans? Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't make no sense now. Because Misa used it, but Misa didn't become a Shinigami. Right. But why didn't she? So like that's why I'm like, nah, I think it's better off that Light is dead, because it means that when they're absolute, it's absolute. Right. If death is absolute for everybody else, death is absolute for Light. Yeah. Like he shows that he's truly no better. He's no different. Right. And I think it's a fitting way for a person who views themselves as God to get knocked back down to humanity and realize you're just no different.
You might want to cut and clip that. That's the one. That's the
I'm
one.
like, I'm already timing them. I'm already.
That's the one. Like you landed the plane perfectly. Because I was in between, but the way that you said that, you in a debate where a person is in the middle. You sway me to your side, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do because so bad I wanted to say like it would be interesting if he was a god.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't be.
But how you said it, nah, it's better. Whatever he just said, you know, that was cold.
Yeah, no shonen brain here, at least not for this anime.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from shonen. So if there's any anime that you can give me that's not shonen, definitely DM me if you're watching. And you're like, I think he like I grew up off of shonen. That's your intro to. I compare shonen to loving Ip Man. If you've ever seen the movie Ip Man.
Oh, okay. No, I have not.
Woo! Ip Man is one of those movies that's not in English, but the fight scenes it has you hooked. From the moment you turn that movie on, it has you hooked. And it's based off of the person that taught Bruce Lee how to fight. But that don't mean that I actually understand the lore to it. They were speaking in Japanese, but the fight scenes were so cold and out there that it kept me there. That's what is Solo Leveling was it for me, where I was like, you cannot go down this path no more. You cannot go down this path because you know Solo Leveling has so much fighting and you love it, but you have to step back and you have to expand your horizon. One young lady told me about a scary anime. I think it starts with a G. I can't spell it. It's spelled. There you go. There you go. So I'm in the process of starting that.
Nice.
But yeah.
You know, I actually have a question for you with this as well. Because when it comes to not just anime, but with gaming itself. And my question is going to be very straightforward. How much does like when you see representation, what does that feel like to you?
As of right now, I think we're fighting for it. And a representation means a lot. A man that's going to have his first child, I want to be able to sit and watch anime and my child looks at the screen and say, that can be me, if just for a second. To give an analogy, I've also said this. I said the most important Black character in gaming, anime, and movie history is the Black Ranger. Emmanuel is he was the most important because back then there was no representation for little Black boys or girls in hero figures. Could you find it if you really wanted to? Yes, but there was nobody on the big screen. I remember seeing him on a big screen. You think I picked the Red Ranger? As cool as the White Ranger was, you think I picked the White Ranger? The Green Ranger? Hell no. I wanted to be him because he looked like me. So now when you look at anime, you don't see too many people that look like us. They sprinkle us in here and there, but you don't have this just dominant force that's like, this is my show, I'm running this. They tried to do it with Afro Samurai a little bit, but it's like
Gacha Yakuta, I heard, has really been
Gacha Yakuta. Okay.
Yep, very much so. When it comes, the mangaka writer she's really big when it comes to like learning about Black culture, Black hairstyles, like Black characters in general. So I think that's really cool. But I do agree. I think the only one I would say is just on that same bar as the Black Ranger is Static.
Oh yeah, Static, hell yeah.
Static was it for me. Static was the reason why I was like to just see him, not just him just as just being Black and seeing that, but the struggles that he went through and the people that he was able to help, not just with his electricity, but with his words, with his kindness, with his compassion, with his empathy for people. Realizing that there was a lot more out there than just him.
Right.
Like, and I think that's one thing I love seeing. I love seeing heroes, especially Black heroes, but like I love seeing heroes that can talk themselves out of something. You know what I mean? I loved it. Like I saw that there was the clip where they showed this the girl who was homeless, and she was homeless. She had like these ice powers, and she has ice powers now, so she's like freezing everything. She can't get away. And Static makes a comment about how people look at someone. You know, they look at her because she's homeless, and then just want to like just toss her to the side.
Right.
And Static does not disagree. He said, I've been guilty of that too.
Right.
I love that shit. Like I love seeing heroes that do that, but I love seeing it, especially like because I know myself. I got a child on the way too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I got a son on the way. Like, and I want my son to go and see these heroes and be like, you know, I love to see that. I want
These
to
subtle messages that you could get through your hero, that's priceless. Like,
and they linger to adulthood.
Even if when you look at like the Black, not only heroes but in anime and everything else, they always tend to like. Static did a very good job of saying he has a dominant, strong male figure in his life with his father.
His father was amazing.
His father was amazing. But then let's go to what's the Black Spider-Man? His
Miles.
father died. His father dies. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So it's like give us that structure that everybody else kind of gets, but then show us our story of what we go through. Like I'm still trying to find that. Like, and I was going to mention it earlier, like to give credit to Corey Kenshin. I don't know if you know who that is. Most people do. He did come out with his own manga. If it had to be one critique, he should have leaned in on that black protagonist in his manga a little bit more. You know, because if anybody's going to listen, they're going to listen to you. You know, and there's still hope. There's so many people that's making comic books right now that look like us. I know it's only time would tell. Every time I network, whether it's like with you or I got one of my brothers, his name is he's creating a comic book. It's another gentleman. I've just been building up my network and I see what's bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm trying to see where the landscape goes next. Is because you got all of these amazing creators who are Black men and women. And it's like they're waiting for that moment. And it's very good material. It's like very good material. The last StreamYard live that I did was with a guy who had a whole comic book series. And he asked me one of the best questions that I ever asked. That I've ever been asked. And he simply asked, do you feel like you're appreciated enough? And that sent me as a Black man. I was like, yo, and I struggled with trying to answer it because it's almost like he was projecting on me because he didn't feel like all the positive things that he was doing. He didn't get like the admiration from building this comic book.
A lot of them don't. Like a lot of them really don't.
And it took the wind out of me because I'm just like, here we are, all of this talent, all of this creativity, but where can it possibly go if the attention is not directed to the right place, if the money is not there, if you're more worried and fascinated about this provocative thing going on over here, but you got a brother over here doing some genius level stuff in his art form. Like I've grew up with so many just brothers, even back in like junior high, who could draw. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, that's enough to be able to draw even Dragon Ball Z the way you used to draw it when you was 14. We all know that one person that was in school drawing and you like, yo, that's dope. They were supposed to be bigger than what they was.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. And that's, and that's the thing that's always difficult too, is the fact that there is so many that should be bigger than what they are. But I feel this, and this is something I've been cultivating, like trying to figure out the right terms to use. And it's there's so many of those, the bigger publishers, they like the idea of a successful Black creator. They just don't want us to actually be successful.
Facts.
And that's the part that's hard. That's why it's like, if we're not going to do it, we're going to do it ourselves. And right. So I've been networking with, I've had multiple Black, whether it's a Black game developers, You know, I have one where I'm talking with another Black lady who will be next Monday. You know, Japanimir, who just had his third comic book series of Rock Salt come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just like these. It's important. It's important because if no one else is gonna help us get to that point, then we have to do it ourselves. And it's that old saying, if you don't like it, you know, if you want it done right, do it yourself.
Right.
And you know what? We are doing it ourselves. And at this point, we're at a point. I think we're at a force. We're a force at this point, in a force where nobody can actually stop.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. But
Like,
me and you align on that, and a lot of the people that I've gained in my journey of doing podcasting and everything, we all sound exactly the same. Like we sound exactly the same. So
I mean, when you have those similar experiences over and over and over, eventually they're all going to cultivate into being like, yo, like this is, you know, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it right.
Right.
You know, you ain't going to help us. So I was like, I'm somehow less interested in the weight and convolutions of Einstein's brain than in the near certainty that people of equal talent have lived and died in cotton fields and sweatshops.
To that point, I can help you out with that. I can help you out with that. So, you know, and this goes to what we were saying, and I won't hold up much of your time. So when Einstein died, Einstein had one thing that he wanted not to happen. He said, please don't take my brain and study it. Einstein asked of the people who would have dominion over his body, do not take my brain and study it. When Einstein died, you know what they did? They took his brain, not only studied it, but took the neurons in his brain and somehow had his brain playing Pong, the first original game. And their issue was, we never taught Einstein brain how to play Pong. This is a true story. This is a true fact. So when I see a comment like that, it's like you're in a system that's going to use you or not use you, no matter how you want to be used. So no matter how deep you want that question to be, or surface level you want it to be, you need a system that's going to be for you in order for you, your people, and the thing that you want to get to the promised land there. If the system is not structured to help creative and smart people, then you're going to see a lot of smart people that are genius level, that has genius level talent, look like regular people. A God can dwell amongst men if, you know, he don't have his power. He's just a mere mortal. But he knows in his mind, like, I got the power. I know, I've seen it. I've done it. I've talked to other gods. I've done the thing that gods do. I sat at the table with gods. But there's one thing that I'm missing. My power. Well, wouldn't that make you a god? Yeah, but you know that you got the ability, right? So that's all I got to say on that. Even Einstein himself ended up being used by a system in which he did not want to get used, and he had no power.
Nope. And it's horrible at the end of the day. Even I had to do a story about racism, like a paper about racism in healthcare, and how the father, they called him the father at the time, they called him the father of gynecology. I don't remember the guy's actual name, but he was experimenting on Black women in order to do it, and it's horrific. No anesthesia, basically just carving them up, and for the science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, obviously nowadays they'd be like, that's just absolutely inhumane, and I'm like, yeah, it is. But it's one of those things where it's sad that these women were just unnamed people,
right?
And so it is. It's sad, and that's why I hate when seeing in the gaming, tying back to the gaming community, like there are so many great, talented, like Black developers, creators, writers, whatever. They just don't get the chance. They don't get the chance. They might. It's either they make their own stuff because the AAA market won't do it. The AAA market is. God, this is gonna be a tough one because I don't like to bash on the AAA market too much, but I do think there's legitimate issues because the people at the top don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it. That's it.
And that's what I hate the most is the people. And that's why I you know, what's funny is I made a joke about wanting to do an interview with Randy Pitchford. Because despite the fact that I think that guy can be a real douche, I think he cares.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, he's the CEO of Gearbox. And so I want to see, and that's why I'm excited. Like, I don't know if you know who Kuma is. He's on TikTok. He's making his own game. He's another black developer. He's making his own game. I would highly recommend getting a hold of him.
Okay.
And I can lead him to you as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will absolutely do that for you.
Yeah, and I want to sit here and appreciate you for bringing me onto your platform, because I know, and me and you have not had a conversation on this point, but I want people to understand how hard it is to set up a platform, put your foot forward, pay StreamYard like $100 a month, seek out talent, talk to the talent, schedule the talent, turn around, chop up the clips and put it out there and be consistent. That is difficult. That is a feat.
It's a bitch and a half, that's for certain.
The thing that I looked at when I had StreamYard, I had my crew, I had 3 other people and everything, and I had to tell myself, I had to stop. I'm gonna be honest with you. I took a step back, and I say this in conclusion because I know my wife wants me to do a couple of things, but it is difficult to run a company or to do anything without the necessary support. Right? I know I was in a situation in StreamYard costs money, these mics cost money, the lights cost money, and you have to put time and effort. So anytime I see a black man put in effort, I give them a round of applause and I thank them for being consistent or trying. So Afro Fish OG, I appreciate you. I see you. I listen. Anytime you want to just pull me up to a podcast or a show and you just like, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, and you just want to shoot the
oh yeah, I have certain podcasts where I have times where I'm like, I'll bring in a couple other people and I'll just be like, yo, we just shooting the shit on this day. We just bullshitting. This is a podcast just to bullshit. We talked to when we just talked, I brought up a couple people, we just talked about Star Wars. Yeah. We just took shots at Star Wars for like an hour and a half.
Right.
Like, you know, yeah, absolutely.
Because you have to plan this. What are the questions? It's so many things that go on behind the scenes before you press go live.
Oh, and that's the thing too, is I mean, there's times, I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I did one with us. I don't know if you know Stroopwafel.
Mm-hmm.
I did a recording with him. His clips should be out coming up here soon. And I did an 8-hour shift. I did not sleep for 36 hours. And like partway in between there was the podcast I had to do. And so like I love doing these because I love getting to know people who make the space great. I do. Right. I think everybody who I've interviewed makes the space great in some way or another. Whether they are, whether you're just a small time creator just starting out, whether you are a bigger creator, the people that I like when I first started, where I was like, damn, like these guys are like way above whatever, are the same people that I'm like right up to now talking about like, hey, when you guys gonna do blah blah blah.
Right.
Like I got another content creator that tomorrow I was like, yo, I'm off tomorrow. Like Tekken, let's run it.
Right.
I shot some shit at him yesterday. He's like, run this shit. I'm like, bro, I'm at work, bro. I'm doing a 12-hour right now. But it's like it's you just keep on pressing, you keep on working, like you said, the slow and steady method, because eventually people catch on, people like what you do, and as long as you're unapologetically yourself, I think people love authenticity.
Yeah.
More than anything. But my last question to you is this. Well, I got one more, but my question before the last question is a very, very simple one. So you said that you were a big Mass Effect fan.
Yes.
And I think I need to ask this question. First of all, how did you end it?
How did I end it? I ended it the most righteous way I could.
You destroyed him?
I mean,
how are you going to say the righteous way? Did you control them? You controlled the Reapers.
I ended it the most righteous way that I could.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
So you don't.
Okay.
So you don't control the Reapers, or you didn't
No.
control the Reapers.
No, I took Captain Anderson's thing and I destroyed the Reapers. I was like, at the end of the day, I have a chance to wipe out this actual threat from the galaxy. Like, I don't think humanity is in a position, and we've already seen it with the elusive man. We saw it with the elusive man. I don't think humanity is in a position to control a power like that.
You know what? You know whose story really hit home to me, and I had a lot of anger, and maybe this probably helped me.
Jacobs.
so
Fucking A.
They are a species that I think that are very similar to our species. When I first on Mass Effect, I met him. I think what's the species that starts with a K?
Krogan?
They look, yeah. His story and their story sounds a lot like our story and what they've been through.
Started populating. The Solarians thought they were too much, so they created the genophage to basically wipe them all out.
So I almost, even though I was playing from a shepherd standpoint, I was like, he's my best friend. Whatever he says goes, because I'm just upset. You got to keep in mind, I'm 17 at the point where I played this game in 2017. So I'm in the process of playing this game as a 35-year-old to see how my brain has changed and how I would answer things and how things would be different. Because 17-year-old me is different than 35-year-old me. I got a little bit more.
Shit, I'm so glad you said it. You have no idea.
I have a little bit more empathy for humankind. Even though I know people are still assholes and need help, 17-year-old me wanted the world to be destroyed because everybody was inconsistent and just needed a belt to ass. 35-year-old me, who's going to have a kid come into this world, like, people need time to understand their faults.
That's fair.
So don't beat me up too bad.
Nah. That's why I couldn't go along with the controlling of the Reapers. Okay. Because we've already seen what controlling them, or what they can do when they control you. We don't know how much it's going to be when they get controlled. And so, like, I was like, humanity is, despite it, if let's say there's a war that's going on, or like that's, like something, a battle going on, let's say between, I don't know, the Solarians and the Asaris, is it then, if I'm controlling the Reapers, is it humanity's job to step in and, basically foreign invade, foreign intervention, I should say. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't. Besides the fact that, like, I don't think humanity has the brain power to actually control these things.
Yeah.
AI. Yeah, once Shepherd goes, what's going to happen? And I was like, I think they need to go. Every one of them needs, because then I think in my mind I was like, the humans at that point, or not humans, but just all the species, will be able to be freed from, like, a threat that will always try to take them out.
Right.
Because even if you control them, there is that threat that they're going to come back.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't, especially because I took out the Batarians.
Okay.
Like, in the end of the second one or whatever, in the DLC, you have to end up with like a mine, you have to have a choice between two different, like, mining depot or something like that, or it's like two different, like an industry or like a village thing, but you end up destroying like a fuck ton of Batarians.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, if that's the power that I can cause without the Reapers, what can I cause with that? Yeah. My goal was to get rid of these guys. My goal finishing is going to. I will say, though, you're right, though. Krogans were amazing. I'm not going to lie. I loved having them in my group. Rex was an absolute unit. I loved it. It was him and Garrus. It was always him and Garrus. Like, I loved having both of them. But
get you a long range, and then somebody that can run at you like a linebacker. You got a squad because you can play both sides. You can fill that void.
I loved it. It was fun as hell. But I will say, my last question for you, and the same one I give for everyone. Actually, if you don't mind,
let's do it.
A very important one that I want to say. What does gaming mean for you?
Oh, man. gaming is very important to me. I had a whole bit about how gaming helps with mental health. Think about you going through a long, stressful day at work and you just want, if you don't drink or you don't smoke, because I don't smoke, I smoke a cigar every once in a while. Imagine you coming home and you have nothing else that you could possibly do to kind of decompress from the day. Woo! Gaming will be that way. Gaming will be that thing. There are a lot of men. Obviously, it sounds like both me and you are married, but there are a lot of men who deal with loneliness. Loneliness can kill. Simply turning on a game, being able to connect to a social platform just to have a friend for 45 minutes to 2 hours to play Call of Duty or some world building game, just to say, man, it was a long day. Some people can't afford therapy.
No, therapy is expensive.
But that game was either free or $69 and you can talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
So gaming deserves a lot of credit. It's very important. It's very important for the world. I think people who game have higher IQs, depending on what games they play. But, yeah. So for me, if I tried to find a word, I couldn't find a word because there's so many words I want to say. I used to be the kid that was bullied. True story. Before I had a growth spurt and started playing football and became the big guy, I was bullied. I didn't have no friends, but I did have a video game that I could play.
Right.
It was me, my father, and a video game. Over time, I knew I loved the video games. I started watching E3. E3 turned into Comic-Cons. I found people that look like me, that like the things that I like, that I could sit up there and have conversations with all day about Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, Ghost in the Shell, Inuyasha. I wasn't weird anymore. I wasn't the dorky guy with glasses. They was picking on me over here, but over here, I'm one of the guys. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So gaming, because I was gaming a lot longer than I was watching anime. Gaming led me to anime, not the other way around. It was gaming, E3, Comic-Con, Comic-Con, anime, tie-dye.
That's how I felt a lot with that's how I felt a lot. It was very similarly with like G4. It started with G4. I would watch G4 religiously.
Yeah, with Adam Sessler
and Morgan Webb, all of those shows on there. E3 was huge. I loved every time E3 showed up. Like from E3, I would watch, because right after E3 was the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. I told myself I was going to go to that. Still waiting.
You see clips of it on TV. Didn't have the money to get there, but I knew for a fact that that's where I wanted to be.
My only thing was I wanted to be on G4 so bad.
Man,
I wanted to be on G4 so bad. I was like, man, I could do this. But, obviously I wasn't the age and didn't have the time and all the other kind of stuff, right? So it obviously never panned out. And the show, it was, honestly, the fall of G4 was bound to happen.
Yeah.
People were doing the same thing that they were doing up on YouTube. They were making the same kind of videos, doing the same kind of stuff. And so it was bound to happen at some point. But, like, it always made me kind of sad when it went. But now when I look at it, I'm like, this is my version of G4. For sure. This is my version of what I wanted to do. And so that's why I keep fucking doing it. And because for an hour and a half, it gets me away from my wife. But like, I didn't hear. That's why I can say it. But
I ain't say it. You said it for me. So,
but I will say. So my question is, where can they find you?
So right now, you can find me. TikTok is my main channel that I'm focused on. Beyond the Blur. You'll see me. I got a cool little guy up there with his afro and glasses. You find that, you find me. You find me, you find that. It's a lot of lore when it comes to that too. Like, I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on, but once you find me, you'll find me. If that makes sense.
That's fair. So you up on the other ones then too, or no? Not yet.
I'm up on everything else, but right now I want to focus all my attention on TikTok because TikTok is the only platform that doesn't require you to have X amount of followers. I could go live and people can give me gifts and everything. And I turn those gifts into money for my app, basically. The app is going to branch out and give everybody everything they need to not only find me, but other creators. I plan on creating a platform where if you are not only a creator, but a person who draws, do gaming, all of that stuff, I'm forcing my AI interface to basically push people to people that look like me, sound like me. That way we could get more attention. Yeah. So that's it. I want to get people more off of their platform onto my platform so I can push people to where we are at.
So I love that. Love it. But alrighty, man. Well, I appreciate you being here as always. I really, really do. And for those who are not sure where to find me, you can find me on TikTok and YouTube because that's how you're watching this right now. Over on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm getting my shit mixed up. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. I gotta work.
Me too, bro.
Like I gotta work tonight. So Instagram, you can find me on there. I pull my shit on Instagram. I put my shit on YouTube. I'm doing all stuff all over. If you guys really want to get a hold of me too, I got my own Discord and all that other kind of shit as well. And we have another podcast up tomorrow. I was gonna say same time, but it's not. It's like 2:00. 2 p.m. tomorrow, possibly 3. I don't know. I'll send you guys a link. But for all those who know me, I'm Taylor from Afro Fish OG. Appreciate you here, Blur.
Absolutely.
And I will see you all in the next one.